Hello and welcome to Boring Dad Gaming, where today I'm going to be taking a look at a demo for an upcoming game. In fact, this game is out in just a few days as I'm publishing this video. It's October 24th, scheduled to release. This is Cabernet. It's an interesting one. I had a quick look at the beginning of the demo anyway, and thought it was, seemed like a good one. It's kind of like a visual novel style thing, but it's more interactive than that suggests. It's kind of the story of this was a young woman. She has been turned into a vampire, and she's kind of coming to terms with that and what it means. You get some quite cool vampire powers later on in the demo. But let's just begin the story. Let's see for ourselves. Eastern Europe, end of the 19th century.
Thank you all for coming here today to say goodbye to my Liza.
It's fully voice acted, incidentally, which is pretty cool. From what I've seen so far in the demo, the voices are pretty good, pretty well done.
I never thought I would bury my own daughter, my own blood, my pride, yet.
Now this is interesting. This is kind of the character creation section, but it's all kind of done through this gathering at her graveside as she's died. We are playing Elizaveta Morozova. As you can tell, it's going from the thing on the little symbol on top of the tombstones and stuff. I'm pretty sure it's Russia, or a Soviet state at least. And yeah, we can choose what the relatives say, which kind of influences the starting stats for our character. I think it's quite a cool way of doing it.
I can't do this. Miko, please say something. I just can't.
There. It's all right. What can I say about someone dying so young? Particularly someone as special as Liza. If I may, I won't dwell on the circumstances of her tragic death today. Instead, I'd like us to celebrate her life. Despite her obvious calling for medicine, when she was little, I always thought she would become...
So we can choose. We basically get points towards sort of creativity, art, that sort of thing, towards being a writer, towards like diplomacy, politician type stuff. For a doctor, you get sort of like science, medicines type stats. So despite her obvious calling for medicine, when she was little, I always thought she would become... So the word despite suggests you probably shouldn't take doctor. Despite her obvious calling for medicine, when she was little, I thought she would become a doctor. Doesn't make sense. But maybe we could say, maybe she'd be a musician.
A famous musician. You should have seen her with her fiddle when she was only 5. The instrument was half her size. But when she played, oh Lord, did your heart start filling up. Such a bright girl. Always a top student. Always the pride of her parents. By the time she graduated.
Okay, so I think I'm going to lean into scientific mind this time. I think I went more down an arts route previously.
Liza knew everything there was to learn from books about science in our enlightened age. Laws of physics, human anatomy, chemical solutions, you name it. Every time she went on about this scientist or that discovery, she'd light up like a matchstick. Most of the time I couldn't understand a word of it. But I just nodded along and mused at how bright our girl was. I can't tell you how proud we all were when she was accepted at the medical academy. I had no doubt that she was destined for greatness. But to become a doctor, one of the first women to achieve that in the whole country, if someone deserved that honor, it was our Liza. But my niece was so much more than a gifted student.
I'm going to go true friend.
With all of her other talents, above everything else, she was a true and loyal friend. She connected with people easily. She cared deeply about them. Some might even say too much. After all, if she wasn't so thoughtful, maybe she would still be with us. But I digress. Please forgive me. What's done is done. P was my favorite niece. Let us raise a glass to her.
So as we play, you'll see that as we take certain choices in dialogue and stuff, we can increase some of these scores. Some of it, there are skill checks and stuff, so if we'd had like a writing check, we wouldn't be able to do much with it, but we'd have a chance of doing something with one of the other stats as it stands. It's quite interesting, and you can level up as well and sort of put points into other
Pour
things.
some vodka for Korda too. He is old enough to send his sister off. A piece of my soul went into the ground with her today, as I'm sure did many of yours. Let those pieces help Liza, wherever she is now. To Liza.
When I was a little girl, I often had trouble falling asleep. My mother used to sing me this lullaby to comfort me. Tonight, I slept deeper than I had in my entire life. I had a disturbing dream that a string was coming out of my mouth. When I started pulling it, I realized that it came from all the way down my throat, buried somewhere deep in my body. I kept pulling, but I couldn't go too quickly for fear of burning myself with friction. Finally, the whole string was out. I felt relieved, but also strangely empty. I realized that I was in my bed, with my mother sitting beside me, crying. I didn't know why she was in tears, but I knew it was my fault.
Somewhere to wake up, huh? Yeah, so I don't think it's fully voice acted then. I think there's certain stuff that... I think it's her internal thoughts that aren't voiced, so I'll read those. Oh, dear Lord.
Mom? Kola?
My body feels like it's stuffed with cotton. Like I slept for days. So we walk around with WASD. It's not exactly 2D. Like there is some depth to things. We can click on things. Either this is a nightmare or I am in hell. This feels too real to be a dream. We can take the lantern. Old kerosene lamp. Hanging out in the corner we can look at.
The cupboard is locked. Why would anyone keep something of value in a place like this?
That internal thought is voiced, so I'm wondering if, because it's a demo, not everything had been recorded at this point. It might be that in the full release it is fully voiced. I'm not entirely sure on that.
My medical journal from the academy and my family medallion. Who could have brought this here?
Liza's medallion, handcrafted sterling silver medallion passed on to Liza by her father. Yeah, we can go in here. So this is kind of our status page. There are two. It's not good versus evil in terms of your choices. Rather, it's humane versus nihilistic, I think. So we can kind of choices that kind of humanize us versus choices that are kind of like, you know, darker choices, shall we say? Choices about leaning more into our vampire side, probably. So in terms of inventory, yeah. So we've got this medallion. Don't think I can like equip it or anything.
Lilies of the valley. My favorite flower. Who put them in this room? It's disturbing to see them here.
Pretty much all else we have is this door.
Locked.
Call for help.
Hello? Anyone? Please help. I'm stuck here. Anyone! It's no use. Hello? Who is this? I'm locked inside. Please help.
Are you still there? Maybe you can't talk? Please knock twice for yes and once for no. Thank goodness. Can you help me open the door? Thank you. Thank you so much. Will you help me?
No.
What is it that you want from me? I'm not wealthy, but I know some people who can lend me money, and
Nope.
I'm a doctor by trade. I can heal you if you're sick, or come on call anytime, day or night.
Nope.
I don't have much, but I can owe you a favor?
Uh-huh.
And it's settled. Whoever you are, do you hear me? If you open this door, I, Elizaveta Morozova, will be in your debt. Ah! What the hell is this? My shoulder just felt like it was burning up. I can't see anything from this angle. I should check up on it later.
Mysterious. But we can get out now, at least.
It's open. No one. What have I gotten myself into?
So there's nothing that way. Oh, we have vampire rank increase. Yeah, so if we go into our character sheet then. Earning experience points increases your rank, allowing you to upgrade your skills. Accept changes once done. So we got 5 points we can put in. I'm tempted to put them in literature and writing, so we're quite rounded in terms of what checks we can take on, so I'm going to do that. We can't move any quicker yet, but we will get the ability to quite soon.
Hello? Can anybody hear me?
Yeah, but the rats.
What a peculiar painting.
Cool. So I don't think I had art before, so I couldn't do this. But let's study expressions.
The husband and wife in the picture don't look very happy. If I had to guess, I'd say it wasn't the perfect marriage.
Yeah. So you see, if I had 7 in history, I could have maybe studied that a bit closer.
It smells like death here. There's someone's money in here. I could live on this for a week.
Very good.
After all that has happened, I think I deserve this.
Hell yeah. Gain nihilism. Yes. Oh, okay. Liza's morality is still shaping. Certain choices will provide you with humanity or nihilism points. Some choices will only become available to Liza after she reaches certain levels. So, you see, we've got 5 in there and 5 in humanity at the moment. I'm not quite sure how I got that. If it's just that's kind of her base score in that particular stat, perhaps.
The mirror is covered by a sheet. People only do that when someone dies. Mother explained that this is so the dead soul does not get lost and trapped inside. Silly superstition, of course.
Remove the
We
covers.
live in the age of science where there's no room for this nonsense. What is this? Where is my reflection? I can't see myself. It must be a trick mirror. Eerie.
We have science, so we can do that.
It's hard to say without seeing the face, but this dress. Could it be the same girl from the first painting? Ugh, this is unbearable. I'm a doctor. I can get through this. I just need to look straight ahead. Give me strength, no matter what is on the other side.
I bet she wasn't expecting this.
What in heavens is all this?
Chapter 1, Higher Society.
I will make sense of all this later. Something is wrong. My head is spinning. I feel the floor slipping from under my feet.
Would you look at her? How does one have the gall to show at the Countess's manor in such a filthy outfit?
She must be a nihilist. It's spreading all over the country like a plague.
You two don't know what you're talking about. It's the latest rage in Paris now. The dirtier, the better.
Yeah, we'll probably fit in Paris.
I'm starving, and the food looks so fresh and delicious, but the strangest thing is, I have absolutely no appetite for it.
Let's mingle.
Have you heard? The Countess is sending me on a special assignment to the capital.
You lucky devil. I've been stuck here for years. I swear, I'd dull my fangs just to spend the night in the city.
Miss, are you all right?
Mind your own business, Petya. It's rude to stare at a lady.
Sorry.
I know it's not ideal, Countess Orlova, but I'm afraid there is not much we can do at this point.
Of course now there bloody isn't. The right time to act was last week.
I don't understand where this influx of product is coming from. It's undercutting our prices.
Where were you when I...
Who is this creature? Darling, you look like a little domovoy. Come over here. I don't bite.
Hello?
Much. Apologize for interrupting.
Hello? I'm terribly sorry for it.
Okay, we've lost some relationship but gained other relationship.
You must be the doctor's new apprentice. Look at you, poor thing. You must be fresh out of the ground.
Excuse me?
Ugh, nobody must have actually inducted you. How typical. No surprise with the men around here. Hussar, why is she in such a state?
She was not supposed to wake.
I'd love to catch you up, dear, but sadly I have some urgent business to attend to, thanks to this gentleman over here. Hussar, be a darling and show this young lady around when she's decent.
As you wish, madam. If you'll excuse me, I'll go for a smoke on the balcony. You can find me there.
You're excused. If I recall my first day correctly, your head must be killing you. Here, drink this.
Thank you. May I ask what this is?
If you know too much, you'll grow old sooner. Trust me, it will lift your spirits.
I guess we're drinking. Hold left click to drink.
Whatever this is, it's beyond delicious. It's sweet and thick and tastes like cherry and wild strawberries.
Oh, do I have to keep going? Oh no, she's done.
Thank you. I do feel a lot better all of a sudden.
Now go change. We can't have you gallivanting around in those scrubs. There is a nice dress about your size in the cloakroom. Consider this my welcome gift.
Thank you kindly, madam.
Orlova.
Madam Orlova.
You're welcome, child. Now off you go, change and mingle. Time is money.
When you're healthy, hold shift to increase your walking pace. Yeah, so we can hurry now. I wouldn't say sprinting, but we can walk a bit quicker. Gonna make ourselves decent.
Another cloth on a mirror. Something bad must have happened.
We may as well shut without the mirror.
That should do it, hopefully.
Okay, so she's cleaner at least. What's going on over here?
The Countess sure has excellent taste in literature. In other circumstances, I'd spend all day here reading.
Okay, to be gained there, I suspect.
Goodness, this must be the dress the Countess was talking about. Such an ornate Western style. It must cost a small fortune. I want nothing more than to change out of this horrible nightgown, but this is just too much.
Put it on. Okay, so we're obviously going to get an array of costumes. We can see that the nightgown we're wearing doesn't give us any bonuses to anything, but if we change into the evening dress, it gives us a +5 to history and politics. There we go. Let's get dressed.
Perfect. Fits like a glove.
All right, let's go back to the ballroom.
I still don't know what's happening here, or at least I hope I don't. But delaying the inevitable is just tying my stomach in knots. I need to find that young man and learn the truth.
Okay, so he's going to ask us to mingle anyway, so I'm just going to go straight there, and then he'll send us back in here to do some
Please
stuff.
tell me you have some good news.
Good evening, Hussar.
There's something there about interaction points, so I think when you're kind of out of the introduction and doing your own thing, you can do a certain number of things in a time period. Like, I think the clock, the stopwatch in the top right is counting down the amount of dusk, probably until dawn, when we're going to have to sleep, I suppose. But I didn't play enough of the demo to kind of get into that very much.
Ah, there's our belle of the ball. Liza, right? You actually don't look half bad when you're not covered in graveyard dirt.
That's actually a great pickup line, that. Used it on my wife. Let's be rude to him.
I wish I could return the compliment, but you look quite pale and dreary.
Gained nihilism for that.
Must be from all that tobacco.
I like a lady with a sharp tongue.
We actually improved our relationship with him.
However, I'm afraid my paleness doesn't come from smoking. Surely an educated lady like you must have put together who we are by now, haven't you?
Oh, okay, I don't have high enough literature to guess vampires.
I'd rather not guess. Please, just tell me straight. Who are you?
Simply, we are vampires.
Blah, blah, blah. We did see the mirror.
Is this why I had no reflection in the mirror?
If that's what you're concerned about, you look just fine.
Does this mean I'm dead?
Dead, alive, who the hell cares? Trust me, Liza, you just won the lottery.
I don't even remember how it happened.
That actually does happen quite a bit. That memory usually comes back soon enough.
Okay, we got the science for this.
Must be some sort of a defense mechanism that suppresses a traumatic experience. What about my family? When can I see them?
I was worried you will ask me that. Technically, they think you are dead, and it is best for everyone if they keep thinking that. It's true, too.
I can't just leave them like this. They have to know I'm all right.
Look, I know this is too much for you to take in right now. Maybe that's a conversation we should revisit another time.
I have so many questions.
See, that's what I was afraid of. Theory is not my forte. I'm a proponent of learning by doing. Why don't you go talk the ears off some other guests while I finish smoking in peace? After that, I can show you what it's really like to be one of us.
I suppose I can do that. Could you at least tell me a little bit about the people, the guests in there?
Oh, come on. Where is your spirit of adventure? I'm sure you'll figure it out on your own.
Yeah, go on.
What is it?
I wonder if the Countess would approve of you pushing your responsibilities off to a bunch of strangers.
Well played. Fine. Let me think for a moment about our fun little group here. You've already met the Countess, so that's a big plus. Not everyone gets to do that in their first month, let alone first day. Who else would you like to know about?
Who is the intense lady with the purple hair?
That's Liza. She is quite important around here. I'd try to start out on the right foot with her if I were you.
What could you tell me about the woman in the pink dress?
You must mean Arben. You know, they say she was born somewhere far to the east. That broad has been around forever. Probably has a tale or two to share.
What about the young man who asked about my health?
Who? Oh, you must mean Petya. He is just a human. Elisa brought him in for fun. He is such a card and has absolutely no clue.
That sounds cruel.
Don't be like that. It's all in good fun. I suppose that's everyone of note, really. Besides me, of course.
Of course. All right. Thank you kindly. I'll be back soon enough.
No rush, please.
Alright, time to go back in. So, we can speak to a few people, so let's start over here. We can start with Petya.
I do actually have a model right here with me. I always carry Matilda with me, just in case a good opportunity strikes. You never know. Look into her eyes. Doesn't she look alive to you? Like she's going to blink?
Yes. Well, apologies.
Petya.
Petya. We should probably go discuss some urgent business with the Countess.
Oh, of course. In fact, I'd love to meet her as...
I don't know how, but I can just sense that he is not one of us. Such a strange feeling. Attraction? No, but something very similar. He is most certainly human.
Oh, hello. It's you, lady in the nightgown. How are you feeling? I was really worried.
Much better. Thank you. I'm Liza, by the way.
Of course. Where are my manners? I'm Petya.
It's a pleasure. You were the only one who seemed to care about my illness.
Oh, nonsense. They are a lovely bunch around here, just all very busy. The third group I'm pitching my dolls to, and everyone keeps running off for urgent business.
Did you say you're selling dolls?
And making them, yes.
I see you have one with you. May I take a look?
Of course. Matilda here is my favorite. I'd love to get some honest feedback. Well, what do you think?
Let's be nice.
Oh, it's just lovely. So detailed and human-like. She reminds me of the one I had when I was a little girl.
That's exactly what I wanted to accomplish. Thank you. I knew someone here would appreciate it. I'm hoping to show her to the Countess. With her approval, the sky's the limit. You know, making toys is what I wanted to do since I was a little boy. My father always called this foolishness, among other things. Said it's not manly work. I never managed to convince him otherwise.
I'm sorry. That must have been tough.
Well, here I am, still at it. I do have a feeling that I'm onto something with Matilda. Just you wait. My gut tells me that tonight is going to bring something special, and it's never wrong.
How did you end up being invited here, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, that's all thanks to Elisa, the lovely young woman in the yellow dress. She saw me at the town market and saw some real potential in my work. She said that the people in the manor might be interested in seeing it, and you didn't have to ask me twice.
I see. How is pitching going so far?
I'll admit, it's a little slow, but the night is still young.
You are an optimistic guy, aren't you, Petya?
My mother used to say that my hope will be the death of me. But what's the point of living if you don't believe in people and yourself?
You may be right about that. At least I truly hope you are. Best of luck with everything, Petya. Hope everything works out with the Countess.
Thank you, Liza. You're very kind.
Aww.
Have you tried the Countess's Cabernet? Honestly, I think this may have been the best one I ever tasted.
I prefer to stick to clear drinks around here. If you really want to try some decent Cabernet, stop by my salon on the main street.
Oh, that sounds like a challenge. I'll take you up on that offer.
So I've noticed the clock in the top right currently says midnight, so I think I used up a time slot speaking to Petya, so what happens if I click
Hello.
this?
I don't think I've seen you around
Oh,
here
nothing.
before.
Maybe it's just because I spoke
I'm
to Hussar
Arben.
and that did advance time.
I'm Liza. Good evening to you, too.
You don't sound so sure. Is it really a good one for you?
You're right. If I'm honest, it hasn't been the easiest night.
That's what I thought. My advice is always be honest, unless you absolutely can't be. In the end, it does make everyone feel better.
That's a good piece of advice.
Stick with me, lovely. I'm chock full of them.
I couldn't help but overhear that you are a wine expert?
I dabble. I run a literary salon in town and serve drinks there.
How exciting. All kinds of interesting people must come by.
You'd be surprised, my dear, and mildly disappointed. I'd love for you to stop by one day. I'll treat you to a round of something nice.
I'll make sure to visit. Since you're an expert, may I ask you about the wine that the Countess gave me? I'll admit I found it delicious, but it wasn't really wine, was it?
It was not. Cabernet was sort of our code word for blood, so we don't shock any innocents. And then we just got used to it. Funny how language works, isn't it?
Yes. Funny. Arben, I've only just been turned, and all of this is very new to me. May I trouble you for some advice?
I hope you don't mind me asking, but has someone in your family enjoyed wine a little too much?
There was, when the uncle was delivering the speech, there was a suggestion that maybe something wasn't all quite right with the dad. Let's, why don't we go with this?
Yes. My father. Wine, vodka, anything he can drink, really. You aren't clairvoyant, are you?
Everyone becomes a little clairvoyant if they live long enough and pay attention. I saw you drinking that glass earlier, and I think you should be careful around it, my dear.
Alcohol's my father's problem. It isn't mine.
It's not just alcohol you should be concerned about. You can keep away from it if you want. Blood, however, you will now have to drink, whether you like it or not.
Whether I like it or not.
Demons are hereditary, my dear. Always remember that.
Well, I should get going.
Good luck. I have a feeling we'll see each other soon.
This is Elisa.
Come on. Don't any of you cowards want to have any fun?
My lady, with all due respect, Russian roulette just seems like, too much fun for the night.
Fine. Get lost then. Be on your merry way. Who knew that the second time I die would be of boredom? Now, would you look at this pretty picture? I could barely recognize you from before. Where did you get this dress?
It's a gift from the Countess. She is very generous.
Huh. I thought it looked familiar. Name is Alisa, by the way.
Liza, it's a pleasure. May I ask who was the young man you talked with earlier?
Who, Petya? Why, are you interested?
Goodness, no. I was just making conversation.
Don't be shy. We're not attached. Petya is human. I picked him up at the town market. He is a salesman. A ridiculously bad one at that.
If you two are not an item, may I ask why did you invite him over?
Because it was my turn.
A turn for what?
To spice up the eternity.
So, I've just been turned today.
Congratulations. That must be quite shocking. Thrilling, even. I'm envious, really.
Yes, thank you. I'm not quite sure how to process all this yet. What does one even do with this? Being dead, drinking blood, who knows what else?
Same thing anyone around here does. Masticating plain eternity day after day. Spicing it up any way you can.
Hence the Russian roulette.
We're already dead, aren't we? What else is there to lose? Do you fancy a round?
Maybe some other time.
Suit yourself.
So, it's true what they say?
We exist forever. We don't live. But then again, few do.
Does this mean that we can't stop existing?
Oh, sweetheart, there is nothing easier. Just stop drinking blood for a few days, fall from a high roof, or just step into the sunlight.
I should probably be writing this all down.
So, now that you have eternity on your side, do you consider your existence more valuable?
Say it's the same.
No, of course not. Pulse or no pulse, life is just as valuable as it always was.
I see. In that case, how would you compare the value of your new existence to, say, Petya's?
Equal.
What a strange question. They are equally important, of course.
Fair enough. Still, it's an interesting thought experiment, isn't it?
Indeed. Excuse me. I think someone is calling for me.
Alright, let's go and check in with Hussar again. Hang on, what's going on?
Good timing. I just finished up.
Yes, how lucky.
Don't be snappy, Liza. Smoking is an important routine for a soldier. Can't be interrupted.
Let's keep quizzing him on this stuff. We could have leveled up. I forgot to do that.
A soldier, huh? And which division were you in exactly?
We can talk about the divisions some other time, perhaps. So, are there any other questions you have left for me?
What is going on in the basement of the manor?
Oh yes, the basement. If I were you, I would just forget all about it.
Excuse me?
All I know is that Countess conducts her business and she doesn't enjoy people meddling in it.
If it's so confidential, how come I ended up there in the first place?
Minor oversight. You were supposed to be moved upstairs before you were up, but appears that you are an early riser.
And whose oversight was it, may I ask?
Let's not focus on casting blame, shall we?
In other words, it's his fault.
I say all's well that ends well. So, are there any other questions?
Who ended up letting me out of the chamber?
If I'm honest, I haven't the foggiest idea. I thought you knew.
Well, I don't. And whoever it was gives me the goosebumps. On top of everything, I ended up promising them a favor and felt a bad burn on my shoulder right after that. Do you know what it could possibly be?
Let me take a look. Oh, brother.
What? What is it?
It could be nothing, really. No need to worry. Just make sure that you show this to the doctor when you see him, all right?
All right.
So, are there any other...
If vampires are real, does this mean other fairy tales are?
You'll have to be more specific than that.
Rusalkas? Domovoys? Ghosts?
Yes. No. Yes. We'll spend all night here if we keep talking about flora and fauna. If you want my advice, focus on yourself first. That always ends up working for me. So, are there any other questions?
I suppose that's it for the time being.
Perfect. If you don't mind me asking, what do you make of all this? I take it you've done a couple laps around the ballroom. Learned a little more about what it's like to be one of us.
Keep an open mind, then.
Well, I'm obviously still in shock, but...
Yes?
From a scientific perspective, I have to admit I'm curious. This is certainly a unique condition we are in. Oh, I'd love to learn more about it for my studies.
I'm impressed. I can certainly see now why the doctor chose you as his apprentice. All right. Have you read Thunderstorm?
No, we don't have literature 10.
I'm not so sure. Why?
Well, unlike Katerina in the play, you no longer need to wonder why people can't fly.
How did you do that?
By sheer will, Liza. It's very simple.
How are you even talking with me in such a state?
That's yet another benefit of being one of us. We can project our thoughts into people's minds. I prefer it, really. I find normal speech kind of primitive.
Why don't you do it all the time, then?
I'd love to, but you don't want to get too used to it and scare a human by accident. Now, why don't you try it? Let's see what kind of bat you are.
Okay, before we do that, I'm going to go and level up here. I'm going to spread stuff a little evenly, I think. I'm going to put one in music and arts. I'm going to put a couple in these two. And we'll try and keep stuff generally level, I think, as we play. So we hold right button down and we can select bat.
Goodness!
Isn't this a hoot? Come on, I'll show you around.
Off he goes. Bat landing. Bat indicator in the bottom left of the screen informs whether bat shifting is currently possible. To land while in bat shape, descend on a surface from above until a landing circle appears underneath you. Oh, he's up there, is he? Okay, where does it want me? Oh, there we go.
Seems like you're catching on. Follow me.
I can't believe I'm actually flying.
All this talk about death. Don't you feel more alive than you ever have right now?
I can't go any further down, but there's a guy down there. I'm not. There we go.
Shh. There. Look.
If only I have 3 coins to my name, then I'd show 'em. They'd all see.
Is this what you wanted to show me? A drunk peasant?
What I wanted to show you is how to use your new powers. Meet Trophime. He is the Countess's former serf, now custodian and coachman. Among other things, he makes sure no one goes in or out of here without her permission. Important man. Now, come with me.
There we go.
How is life, Trophime?
My lord, is that you? Or the bottle you gave me? Highest quality. Much obliged.
I can see that. It's nearly empty already. All right, enough pleasantries. Watch this.
What happened to him? Is he all right?
He is fine. We call this enchantment.
Enchantment? Enchantment.
What does enchantment do, exactly?
It makes people tranquil. While they are in trance, they don't feel pain or have a clear memory of what happened.
Ah.
Is it like anesthesia?
In a way. I bet you this fellow in the States who invented it is a vampire.
You mean William Morton?
Mm-hmm. I heard the doctor was toying with that idea before the discovery. He was not happy the Americans figured it out first.
So they don't remember anything once they're enchanted?
Not quite. They may not remember what happened, but they won't forget how you made them feel.
Sounds like a subject for some awkward conversations.
You don't know the half of it yet. You'll see.
So, how do I enchant someone? I don't know if I can whistle like you.
Don't worry. Whistling is just for me. It's like a cure for the hiccups. Everybody has their own way. When you need it, it will come to you.
Does this mean you can just come up to anybody and make them tranquil?
In theory, but it's not quite that simple. Firstly, they have to like you, an important condition. Without it, the charm won't work. Secondly, you should only do it to humans.
So it doesn't work on other vampires.
I didn't say that.
Hmm?
There are rumors that the best of the best can indeed enchant their own kind. But I don't even know if the Countess has that kind of power. Besides, this would certainly not be considered ethical by our vampire brothers and sisters.
I bet they wouldn't mind to have that power, though.
Oh, without a doubt.
So why would you want to enchant someone?
I thought you might ask that. There are two main reasons. One, people in a trance are easily suggestible. You can use that to influence their thoughts and opinions.
That doesn't sound right.
Well, I didn't say you have to do it, did I? Everyone lives with their own choices.
When you say influence their thoughts, does this mean they will do anything I say?
Only within reason, of course, especially when you are a beginner. Impression is a delicate art and takes a lot of practice.
And what is the second reason?
I think you already know.
What have you done?
I just opened him up for you. Don't worry, he'll be just fine unless we bleed him dry. Come here. It's time for you to learn how to feed.
I don't know if I'm ready.
You're as ready as you'll ever be.
How do I turn?
Just relax and let your instincts take over. It will come naturally.
Okay. Well, I can't move, so let's do it in the wheel. Shing. Ooh.
My mouth, it's bleeding.
Of course, I forgot to warn you. Sorry. Don't worry, it's normal. That happens when your fangs are out for the first time. It will recover in a minute.
His skin smells like wild berries. But not just the smell. The promise of warmth that draws you. The promise of being whole. I want to feel it on my teeth, in my body. No, I can't do this. I don't think I can do it. I'm sorry.
All right. But if the Countess asks, promise you'll say that you've done it. I don't want to get in trouble because you chickened out.
I promise.
Remember, you have to learn to do it to survive. I better get back to my other errands. Don't want to get my tunic wet. Do you remember the way back?
I do. Hussar?
Okay, we can say thank you. We've got a high relationship. I've just lost my mouse cursor. There we go.
Thank you for your help. I had a rough day and it means a lot to me.
Don't mention it. I ended up having a decent time myself. I'll see you soon.
I should get back to the manor and talk with the Countess. I'll process this all later. Where will I live? What's next? There's so much I have to sort out first. But first, Hussar said I can influence someone who is enchanted. I should try it on Trophine.
Okay. So, if I got, oh, I bat shifted. I didn't quite mean to do that. What do we do?
Can you hear me, Trophine? Here is something I'd like you to do.
Start stealing or drink even more. Let's drink less.
You will start pacing your drinking.
Gained humanity. Okay. Alright. Bad. Are we going more that way? No, we're kind of done in that direction. So let's go back to the manor then. was that?
What was that?
It was not Trofim. He's still fine. Someone back at the house, I guess. Oh no, is it Petya? Has he been snacked upon, perhaps?
Looks like the banquet is over. Someone is still inside, though.
Check it out. Oh
I don't
dear.
understand. How could this even happen?
You have no self-control at all.
It's Petya's doll, Matilda. This is so
Oh god, I've just
unsettling.
noticed what's on the table.
What is this?
My God!
Let's have a look at that relationship map then. So, here we go. So we've got the Countess, neutral at 55, Hussar, neutral at 62. Petya, he's got like a little veil put over his portrait. Oh dear. Status, dead. Okay. Oh, Petya. You guys killed him, did you?
What the hell happened here?
It's all Victoria's fault. I told her he's almost empty, but she wouldn't listen.
What do you want from me? I was starving, and you two barely left me anything.
Doesn't matter now. We drained a man. Not anywhere, but at the Countess's manor. Someone is going to fry for this, and it sure as hell won't be me.
Are you mad? No one is going to be executed for this. He's just a human.
You monsters.
You monsters. How could you do this?
And who are you exactly?
That's right. Hasn't been a vampire for 5 minutes and thinks she knows everything.
Come with me, my dear. This is not your mess to sort out.
I guess.
Those morons. I knew I couldn't leave them alone with him.
I just can't seem to make sense of it. I talked with Petya not even an hour ago.
I'm so sorry. He didn't need to die today.
What happens now?
Well, the Countess won't like this one bit. I can tell you that much.
Is she sympathetic to humans?
I wouldn't say that. However, she doesn't like murders being linked up to her property. She will find her way out of this, no doubt. But those three in the ballroom, we'll have to see.
Back in the room, they said someone will be fried. What does that mean?
I don't know if you've heard this yet, but we can't be in the sun. It destroys us.
I did read about that in the folk tales.
The stories are true. Sometimes it's used as a form of capital punishment for our kind.
What do you think will happen to those three outside?
Murdering a human, sadly, isn't a big crime in our community. I don't think it will come to that. If I had my guess, I'd say they will get their fangs dulled for troubling the Countess. They will grow back after a month or two, but before then, they will have to feed solely on Cabernet, and it isn't cheap.
What if they can't afford it?
They will just have to find a way. Some take loans, some steal. Without blood, we are like humans without water.
Arbin?
Yes?
Do you know what will happen to me now? I don't even know who I am anymore. What do I do? Where do I live?
I understand it's not an easy day. We all went through this at some point. All the answers will come at the right time. For now, you just need to wait it out till someone sends for you.
I must admit, I feel quite restless.
Listen, not many of us might say this to you, so I want to do it. Being one of us doesn't just mean hurting people for your own benefit. It doesn't have to be. To me, it means that I have an eternity to become better, learn from my mistakes, absorb the knowledge about the world.
I suppose that's one way to look at it.
You know, the Countess has a wonderful library over here. Why don't you grab a book and use this time to learn something new? Perfection comes in little steps.
Okay, we've got a good relationship with her.
Thank you for all your help and kindness, Arbin. It feels really good to have a friend around here.
I know it can't be easy for you right now in all this madness. It's hard to adjust. I learned that the hard way. Trust me. Here, I want you to have this.
Vial with blood sustains you for a day.
This should give you a little boost when you need it. Clear your head. It's not going to last long, but it will give you a little peace of mind for the time being. I should go now, my dear. You know where to find me. Next time, a drink at my bar is on me.
I'll be looking forward to it.
Oh, okay. You can read books to pass time and increase knowledge stats. Well, we're going to leave it there, though, for now, I think. This was a little look at Cabernet. As I said, it's out in just a few days, if you're interested. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts, actually, in the comments. If it's something you would be interested in seeing more of on this channel, let me know. But as for this video, I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, if you could hit that thumbs up button, that'd be fantastic. And if you're watching this and yet to subscribe to the channel, if you could do that, that would be amazing. So thanks very much, and I hope to see you elsewhere on Boring Dead Gaming for other games and other playthroughs. Perhaps this one in future, who knows? Let me know. Bye for now.